I really just realized I just went on my I won't call it a rant, but I just talked into the camera for like 20, 30 minutes just to realize it wasn't recording. So here's take two of day one. But I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to title this. This is day one of uh, building towards what I'm trying to build on the blockchain. I'm trying to create an acquisitions fund. The goal is to buy businesses and buy real estate and consolidate them, under an entity that people can, actively participate in through the blockchain. Now, there's going to be two sides of the company. One side is going to be the company that actually actively buys these assets and manages them, and then another side is going to be a company that creates offers for business owners, people who may have the skill of finding these deals, but need help with coming up with the financing to source some money for acquiring these deals. So this is day one of just kind of documenting the journey. I think whether you're making pizza, whether you're learning how to play guitar, if you document the journey, it doesn't matter where you start at. It doesn't matter how bad you are when you begin, and people will gravitate towards people they can relate to. And most people aren't going to start off as stars in their industry, but if people can see your progress over time and your improvement, you stand to inspire a lot of other people who could benefit from, seeing your story and learning from your own lessons. You know, you can save a lot of time by learning from mistakes other people have made. So the goal with this is, hopefully creating a profile that lives long past I do, and helps teach and show other people the way when it comes to just getting started and creating projects that are bigger than what their peers and people around them may think it's possible. I've always had really big goals. um the struggle's kind of been figuring out how to materialize them, but that's been a issue of consistency on my part. I'm definitely one of the smartest people I know. Um, may sound arrogant as it is, but it's just the truth. And I ain't crazy, but like I'd like to believe I'm a little better looking than the average person, especially when I'm eating right and exercising. Haven't really been eating right, and haircut's a little dusty, but I've got a lot of stuff going for me. I should be in a much better position than I am, but I'm not because of the decisions I've made. Key and mainly just not being consistent. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, and it doesn't matter if you just do a little bit every day, but just do a little something every day. These videos aren't going to be crazy long, and given I already spent a lot of time recording, or at least believing I was recording, this is probably going to be a 10-15 minute starting clip, but it is a start. So you don't need to time everything perfect. The stars don't need to align. Just start, and you will be a lot further ahead than if you tried to wait and plan things out perfectly. Trust me, you'll thank me. Um, I gotta go back through this now. All right. So the second thing is just surrounding yourself with people who, will help progress you towards your goals. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started getting into the world of business was I thought I needed to just like isolate myself and like put my head down and not talk to anybody until I've made a significant amount of money. And it's just not the way. I'm telling you, it's what social media pumps out. And if you're hanging around people who are degenerate, and you understand, like, if you keep hanging around these people, your life is going to be degenerate 10, 20 years from now too, then don't hang around those people. But it doesn't mean just like sit in a room on your computer all day trying to learn how to build a business. What it really means is go out and find people who either have similar interests, good habits, or high potential. And the best is having a mix or all three, but surround yourself especially with people with potential and people with good habits. And even if your interests aren't the same, by surrounding yourself with those people, not only are you going to get ideas that they've had rub off on you, but you're going to be able to start, thinking and doing things in a way that will slowly but surely build on the habits and traits of a person who can achieve what you want. Just is what it is. So surround yourself with the right people. Don't try to be some Rambo. Um, just find people who are quality, like loyal people who you can trust, people with potential, people with good habits, and Trust me, you will make more progress by spending a month with those type of people than spending a year completely by yourself. Um, Now, especially like when you're starting something, it's good to have a plan. You should have like an outline of how you're gonna get from your end goal to where you're starting at, but you don't want to make it so that you're just tunnel vision and completely rigid to the point where you're not able to take advantage of opportunities that come up because you're not going to think of everything that's going to get you to your goal the fastest right off bat. Things will come up over time that if you're being present and you're actively paying attention, you'll realize, hey, this is something that can make this timeline go from 6 months to 3 months, and you'll be able to make smarter decisions accordingly. So, stay present. Don't always think that everything needs to go according to plan because it probably won't. You're gonna need to be able to pivot and adapt. That's one of the traits of just the most successful people on earth. Actively, they are able to assess whether or not what they're doing is, progressing them towards a goal or slowing them down from a goal, and they're actively able to course correct to make sure they stay on pace. Um, Now, the last thing that I'm going to say is just about building good habits. Like I said, consistency's been my biggest issue, and that has been a result of the habits I've made. Like I've started going to the gym actively when I was a freshman in college, and then I pretty much completely stopped when I moved out. Albeit there was COVID, I had like literally zero money. I was eating like applesauce and granola bars, but I could have made decisions to still be able to consistently go to the gym and figure out a way. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your environment, what your situation is, it's on you to make things happen or just not. Like it's nobody else's fault but yours. So you do have to figure out a way to stay consistent. And a lot of that is just starting small. Like it's making, little increments that can help make building good habits easier. Like if you want to get up earlier, instead of sleeping with your phone and scrolling for 3 hours before you actually go to sleep and then not having an alarm, put your phone away from your bed when you go to sleep. Set an alarm that's away from your bed. So you have to get up to turn it off in the morning. Put a water next to your nightstand. So in the morning, when you first wake up, you can just take a big gulp. All of a sudden, your body's rejuvenated and you don't feel like going back to bed. It's about making it easier for yourself because that's usually why bad habits are created in the first place. It's just more convenient to eat fast food than cook a healthy meal. It's more convenient to hang out with the friends in high school who weren't doing shit with their lives than go out and meet new people. You have to make the harder choices sometimes, but the harder choices don't even need to be hard. Like just simplify things. Start small, build little systems, and one of the key things, especially like if you're living with people, is communicate. Communication is key. And sometimes that's going to go well, sometimes it's not. Like, hopefully, if people actually care about helping see you succeed, if you say, hey, this is my goal, these are the things I plan on doing to help me get to that goal, and I would like for you to support me in those things by not tempting me or not questioning this or that, like just being open with people and talking about it. And some people are going to be fully supportive, help you out, even if it's just little things like, hey, I want to eat healthier. It's easier for me to eat healthier if I can cook in the kitchen, and it's exhausting for me if I have to clean dishes out of the sink when I want to cook. So I would like to just propose a system to keep the dishes clean so it's easier for me to cook. People who care about you are going to be like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'll help you out. And then sometimes people won't. And it is what it is. But again, at the end of the day, it's your decision and it's your choices that are going to either create the results you want or not let them happen. It's nobody else's fault. So, with that in mind, even if people don't want to support you, create systems that work for you. And it's not always going to be easy, but is anything worth having in life necessarily easy? I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, if not more, it's not. So those are just kind of my main lessons of the day. Um, Hopefully everything's properly recorded this time, but we're gonna be trying to do this, not even trying, we're gonna do this consistently, even if it's just for 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. Just to put something on video and start getting the ball rolling. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow and we'll hopefully have a title just instead of just being day one, day two. We'll probably start off with like day one of learning how to code on Solidity or something like that. Because when it comes to Web3 businesses, specifically creating and launching NFT projects, the two main components are marketing and coding. If you understand those skills, you can build a business around this space pretty quickly. So yeah, that's going to be our journey. I'll be documenting the process. Hopefully, people who have an interest in, learning about a new technology or like, feel like they missed out on the internet bubble, or the social media bubble. This is the next one. Like, and it's not a bubble. Like social media is still here, the internet is still here. So if you start early, you can position yourself not only as an expert, but as someone with a brand that people want to work with simply because you have spent the time showing people I am serious about this craft and, providing value to this industry. That's the key. You got to provide value. So, with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow, and we will be going over some technical stuff when it comes to programming on Solidity. Peace.